fall into the category of the working poor. And because of that, there are certain things that I'm shut out from. I could not get any kind of like a public assistance because I make more than what's considered, I guess, show enough poor. In this country, I think it's a darn shame that anybody would work full time and still not be able to make it. People just want to know that I can keep my house, pay my bills, be able to drive a car, and still have a little bit so that my kids can enjoy some level of entertainment in their lifetime. I think FII can really help to change that narrative.
For the past 50 years in the U.S., we've tried to invent the magic program that's gonna solve poverty. But in the 50 years, we have not moved the needle. The overall mission of FII is to really change the narrative that surround low-income families and changing the stereotypes.
Very common question that we get all the time. Are you sure when you give these dollars directly to families that they're doing the right thing with it? That they're not wasting it in like frivolous things? Is feeding on the stereotypes of who low-income people are.
FII is not looking at what we come with. They're not looking at the myths or the statistics behind us. They're trusting that we want to grow, we want to build, and they believe in us.
Really simply, what we're trying to do is actually create an alternative system. So we partner directly with families and say, show us your best, and show us who your community is. And we want to invest in both.
It's important that there are no stipulations on funds because people, they know what they need to do. And if you empower them to make those decisions, they'll make decisions to better their lot in life.
One of the things that's really great about FII is that we say, come as you are, right? You can be single, you can be married, you can be cohabitating with your partner. Whatever your family dynamics are, they're welcome. We want more folks to be that welcoming to families.
I don't want to be defined by like what I make or how much money I have or because I'm a certain gender or a certain race. That idea needs to like go.
Through our partnership with families, we're collecting over 400 data points monthly on each individual family and the way that they're interacting with one another.
It's a lot to share the details, the financial details, the personal details, but I'm trusting the organization. I think it's an amazing data collection that will tell a story of why to support FII so that families can make moves.
The journaling for me has been therapeutic in a lot of ways. There was a level of truth that was beginning to come out. Seeing some of my life on paper, it allowed me to stop and start recognizing there's a pattern here. I need to figure this out.
It's not about learning how to save money. It's really about rewarding that progress so that they can multiply what they're doing for themselves, which is exactly what we do for the wealthy. We see, on the average, upper income households gain about $150,000 a year from that tax code, and on the bottom, getting about $174 a year. I mean, just a gross inequity, not only in perception, but in actual dollars that we drive to them.
Those choices we make about who is valued and who isn't, who deserves funding, who doesn't, who we're willing to take a risk on and who we're not, it boggles my mind that we don't see that that hurts everyone.
Para mí significa FII una manera de cómo abrir nuestro corazón a los demás y de cómo vernos a nosotros mismos, qué estamos haciendo, qué estamos desempeñando, en qué puedo ayudar yo a mi comunidad, a mi casa y cómo puedo ya dar esa ayuda a los demás.
We place a monetary value on social capital so that we're able to quantify it.
There is a vast economy that is happening in this country that no one talks about. We've seen just in the 17 years that we've been collecting data, millions of dollars has been exchanged in social capital.
Por ejemplo, en las reuniones, si alguna necesitaba vivienda, las demás dábamos el recurso que conocíamos de la ciudad. Igualmente, algunas veces nos turnábamos para cuidarnos los niños. Algunas veces yo cuidaba a los niños de ellas aquí en mi casa y algunas veces una de ellas cuidaba a mis niños.
We're able to inform our funders and our stakeholders and community partners what's working, what's not working in the community.
We want them to understand that there is incredible wealth within these communities.
Everybody has a story, but not everybody's story is being shared. And so we have the privilege of being able to share and showcase their story.
I just tell my story, how single father, low income, disabled, just trying to make a difference in my community, in my daughter's life, and FII seems to be that vehicle.
In FII, we are definitely challenging the rest of the nonprofit sector, the traditional social services role.
Typically, we don't have to say, you've gotten it wrong. What we do is we just share a very radically different approach and let people sit with it. And they start to transform in thinking about how they might do it differently.
No matter where you land on the political spectrum, we're making the case that when you invest in people, as opposed to institutions, our investment will go a lot further.
What FII tries to do is engage with other organizations that would like to put dollars in the hands of families.
I trust and assume that funders are in this work, government officials as well, because they want the world to be a better place. They want to bring more equity in not just resources, but in quality of life.
They don't have to wait for us. They can look at themselves and say, wait, how am I undermining these communities? And can I do it differently?
It's really an invitation to change maybe the way you're practicing your investment and your dollars. We're not just looking for dollars, we're looking for people who actually want to see real sustainable change.
The idea is if we all are successful, if we all meet our goals, then it helps FII because their sponsors look at that and they say, okay, this money that we're putting towards it is making a difference. They're making a difference, we're making a difference, our community is being changed. That's how you start a movement.